Hi Sagittarius, I hope you're doing well. Happy March. Okay, I don't even know how to put this into words, honestly. There is something surrounding age here. I don't know, and I know that, we all go through it at certain points of time, but I think that what you're doing is, I think that you are, when we're too young, we're old, right? I think what's happening here is I think that you're feeling old. I don't think that you are old, because that's just an attitude. So I think what you're doing is someone has either cut you off at the past, or you're doing this to yourself. I think you're doing this to yourself, and I think that what may be happening here, if you've got Cancer anywhere in your chart, check out that video, because there's something going on there. And now that I'm seeing this reading, I think that it is related, and I think it sheds some light onto that video also, because I couldn't really tell in there if it was something someone did to you or whether it was something you did to someone else. I think that you may be feeling a little bit insecure, and I think that something came up around age. But I think that you're doing this to yourself. I think that, when we're not feeling like, that we have to lose 10 pounds, or we have to look like this, or we have to dye our hair, or shifting in motion, or whatever. There's just certain points in time where men or women, both, I mean, there's just times where we feel we need to amp up our game a little bit, right? Like maybe we've left things. Life can do that to you. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day that we don't even realize that, wow, we really we need to like hone it back into us, right? Like just get a new haircut, just do something to make yourself feel better. Eat a little bit different. That came up also, though. I did get that as a message for you. So I think that these little tweaks are going to give you more energy. And I think when you have more energy, you'll start to feel better about yourself, because there's something about a hang-up surrounding age. And the funny thing is, when I was doing errands this morning, it dawned on me, and I'm only putting this out there because it never comes up to me. My birthday is in March. I'm 49 years old. It's just, time just goes so fast that I never put a number though to my age, because I try to make myself, I just have an abundance of energy. So my point is that you're only as old as you feel. And I think what's happening is you're making yourself feel a lot older than you actually are. So your messages were to really get off of this, because what you're doing is you're self-sabotaging yourself. Relationships that are coming into your life, and I think that that's what was around Cancer with that. I think somehow something may have gotten triggered or said, or something happened there that I think is playing out in this reading also, because you've got 2 9s in here. 2 9s that's tough energy, but it's usually energy that we're doing to ourselves, right? 9, you come in first of all with the focal of the Page of Wands, okay? That is that restless energy inside that we want to do something with. But with this card, what he also does is he cuts himself off in here with insecurities. Cuts himself off from relationships, from opportunities. He's his own worst enemy, right? It's all that revved up energy wanting to go somewhere. We kind of cut ourselves off with the self-sabotage of, can I do this? Can I not do this? It's the insecurities that will bind you up, okay? But I think that, the 9 of Wands is really just, it's time, right? It's about stamina. It's about really, though, being grateful for the things that you have. Okay, you may not feel and look like you want to, but you can work on that. Okay, so that's what the 9 is. It's a turning point. Okay, and I think in this read that that's what it is. It's a turning point where you have to get your energy levels back to where they need to be, right? And you've got the 9 of Swords in here too, which means that you're doing a number on yourself up here too. You've got to get out of that, because that is when we are, we get into depressions, and we can't get out of our own way, and we're talking horribly to ourselves. It's the mind out of control, and I think with insecurities popping up, with age or appearance being an issue right now, this stuff is just a snowball effect. It really is, because I can see where it goes if you invest in yourself and get this going. Okay, with the 9 of Swords, okay, we get better with age. We honestly do. It's just, I think that sometimes people get caught up in you need to look a certain way, you need to, there is nothing more attractive, men or women, than a secure person. There isn't. So work on the innards, and I'm pretty sure that the exterior is going to get where you need to be. Change your haircut. Change, some clothes. Change little things like that. But you've got to work on the inside first. And there was a message here. I never get this message either, to start eating better, drinking more water, and taking care of yourself by sleep. Sleep was one of your messages too. So with this 9 of Swords, that's the I'm up at night, I'm not sleeping because I'm my own worst enemy right now. You've got to tweak the mind here, and you've got to start being, with the 9 of Wands, just start treating yourself better. You can do things. You're right here on the cusp too. There's a relationship sitting in here, the 2 of Cups. It's coming up in your blessing spot. What you've got in the blind spot is that Ace of Swords. That's clarity. That's seeing things. You don't see yet how close you are to tweaking this corner, okay? You've got the 3 of Swords in here, in the current spot, which tells me that you are, again, it's about patterns. It's about trying to get out from old patterns, okay? You've got the Temperance card here. That's, again, it's about balancing of the emotions with the mind. You've got to hone that back in. With that card, too, that's a card of reconciliation. So if by chance Cancer is part of this equation here and something was harshly exchanged there, there was a message with that reading. That messages are coming. And I think it's from someone in a distance, or there's distance involved somehow, be it in time or in space or somehow. But anyhow, and the funny thing was, those cards were atrocious. They really were not lovely cards, but I had to go with what my messages were, and it was that good news was coming in. You've got the 2 of Cups sitting right here in your blessing spot. That's a relationship, okay? That's one of those, though, that you've got to get a handle on, and I say this often, and it bears repeating because of this exact kind of read, okay? You've got to fix what's broken in your singleness, or it will absolutely cause dis-ease in your relationships. It causes codependent relationships. It causes relationships that become obsessive, and I think that was one of that messages in there, too. It's funny because in this reading, I'm seeing how Cancer is a lot more clear. The 2 of Cups here, that is good health too, okay? When our minds are out of whack, that's when our health starts to take a hit, right? Stress does crazy things to our bodies, to our mind. So that 2 of Cups, if it's not a relationship, it's your health is coming back to a balanced state, okay? One of your messages, too, was drink from the bottom of the cup. I do not know what the hell that means, except maybe just really start really digging deep into, getting yourself back on track here. Because the outbound, you've got the 4 of Wands, okay? That is a marriage card. That is also a card of a strong foundation, a strong structure. Clearly, you feel like you're not on solid ground here, okay? So the Four of Swords could the Four of Wands could absolutely mean that you're getting your foundation back, your life is getting some stability, but it's sitting here right next to the Two of Cups. So I'm going to say, if there is a relationship in your life that needs some tweaking, work on yourself first and then work on that. If there's a new relationship coming in here, you've still got to work on your own stuff first. This whole reading screams of start treating yourself better from the inside out, okay? And that's how that's going to go. We all go through these things sometimes. You know, we're coming out of winter in most of the places, right? A long winter, right? That does a number on you too, okay? But I'm going to say here, you've got to, it's more than just that though, because there's patterns here that you need to break to get out from under, okay? You've got to incorporate some meaningful relationships back in your life. And the first one has to start with yourself, because you're doing yourself in here, which means that you're probably not open to giving and receiving, or you're doing a number on your partner. I could tell you that already. So we want to fix that, okay? And I think that it starts with the dialogue within, okay? That's exactly what I think this is. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think that this also came up in one of the weekly reads here. That you're just not really in a good spot here too. I know a lot of people are going through times where, you know, they've lost their jobs, they've lost someone in their life. It's just a dark time, and this energy is not helping. And I've got to be honest, March, we're in for a whirlwind. We're really in for a whirlwind. And yes, someone did mention that we have free will, and we do. But when we're coming up against a lot of energy here, universal energy that we really have no control over, we then need to try to camp out on the things that we do have control over. And you absolutely have control over your mind, and you have control over how you treat your body, what you put into it. The last thing you want to do right now when you're feeling like this is eat things that are extremely heavy, because what we eat is also it comes into depression, panic attacks. The food that we absorb has a lot to do with how we feel about ourselves. Not just gaining 5 pounds. It has to do with how our chemicals, how they function, how they don't function. They can be our own worst enemies, right? So I'm going to say here, work on your self-confidence. Work on healing things from the past, maybe. Maybe there's a past relationship that this one took a hit for, right? Maybe something in there needs to be readdressed, right? We're coming into retrograde, Venus retrograde of all things, right? That's going to kick up some stuff that we thought we may have dealt with, but these are the times where it's going to rear its head, and it's going to try to suck us down that rabbit hole. So I'm going to say that just really work on yourself. If there's someone in your sphere in a current relationship, you know, I would suggest that you just lay it out on the line. Look, I'm working on some stuff within myself right now. I'm not responsible for anything I may say. So if you take a hit, I apologize. At least fill them in on what's going on here, because I think that I can just feel what being in the wrath of you right now would be, and I don't think that that would be very kind to someone on the receiving end. If you're not in a relationship, this is the perfect time to invest in yourself, right? It makes it just a little bit more easy when you do these things on the solo, because then we spare the other person the loveliness too, right? Okay, I'm going to say that. You've just got to get your vitality back up here, okay? And again, the Page of Wands is a messenger, so it may be from an external source. If you're waiting to hear from something about something from someone, you will. But I really think, too, with this card, I'm going to have to camp out on. Since it's showing up as a focal, you've really just got to work on yourself here. Okay, it's funny, too, because this is a young energy, and that seems to be where you're having the hold up here. That seems to be where you seem to be self-sabotaging yourself, right? Age is just a number. It's how you feel on the inside that really determines how old you are, right? Are you feeling old because you've given up, basically, right? You can hone that back in. You can get that back into, because too, this Two of Cups is a card of health turning back around. So, you know, when we have this kind of energy around us and the energy that's coming, right, it can do a number on us. And that kind of self-talk and lack of sleep and all of that can really do you in. So I would say start first, because you've got your messages too, oddly, were to take care of yourself from the inside out. You've got to let go of the, you know, trying to not look like someone that's been photoshopped, right? And I don't think any of us would really want to revisit the 20s again, right? Age really does get better. It really does. I can tell you that firsthand if it makes you feel any better. It really does. And I have more energy now than I did when I was young. I think we try to be too old when we're young, right? We miss the youth about us, right? So try to recapture that now. Do things that are fun. Do things that are, you know, go down the vegetable aisle, right? Eat things that catch your eye. Don't even give them any thought. Just pull out things that just you've never tried or that just catch your eye. Do things different like that. You'll be surprised at just how much that changes your life around, okay? So there you have it. You're breaking old patterns. You're rebalancing things, okay? And it's in your blind spot, but I know you'll see the clarity on this. You may not now because it's in your blind spot, but you will get clarity on this, okay? Yeah. Okay. Remember, this Ace of Swords in your blind spot, that's a double-edged sword. Okay, so you can either choose to see the clarity and the truth behind the truth, so to speak, right? Like just owning this, you know, that you are your own worst enemy right now. Or you can turn a blind eye, and it can, you know, bite you in the ass another 5 years down the road. But it's showing up here. Now's the time to really change it. You know, this much energy in the universe would not be coming at us if there were not massive changes coming. So do the change now so that when, you know, things shift, you have sustainability, okay? Plus, there's no better time than the present, right? That was another message of yours. That now is the time. Now is the time. Don't waste time. Time is precious, so don't waste it. That was one of your messages that I totally forgot about. I'm sorry about that. I try to write the things as soon as they come. I really do, but sometimes I forget. But that just came back, okay? Again, if this pertains to a relationship that fell by the wayside, that the Temperance card can speak of a relationship being, come back around. If this Two of Cups is a current relationship that took a hit due to something going on right now, it can come back around. It's in your blessing spot, okay? So there you have it. I hope that I helped you in some way. Again, March is going to be a whirlwind, okay? This is a time where, and I'm going to put this out here because this is 2 9s. Someone may be in this spot, or I would not feel the need to put this out there. And I never really do the Grim Reaper thing. I really don't. But I just feel the need to do it. This is a time where, if you're watching this video for someone, or if this is you, okay, this is the time where these kind of things can get out of control. I'm not touching on the Z part of this, but this depression, if it is a depression, depressions aren't things to take lightly, guys. There's a difference between having a bad day and there's people that are chronically depressed, and that's really hard to get out of. And that has this sprinkled through it. So I have to err on this side of it too. This is a time where a lot of suicides take place. Please don't send me hate mail. I'm putting it out here to the more knowledge that you know, this may not be for you. This may be for someone that crosses your path that you notice, okay? I'm just saying, if someone needs your help, help them. If you're someone who needs their help and someone's watching this for you, reach out for help, okay? Because it's not something to take lightly. Sometimes, yeah, we're having a crappy time and we pull out of it, but sometimes it's a lot deeper than that. And there's sprinkles of this through here. There's a lot going on in here. And this is, it happens through time. It doesn't just, but it festers and it gets to this. And my concern is that you've got 2 9s here, okay? And that's, with the Temperance card, that's, I'm sorry, I must be half blind. This is the Justice card, okay? Again, hallelujah. This, I so apologize. I so apologize. This is the Justice card. I thought it was Temperance. Okay? That is a card about balance. Okay? Again, and that the 4 of Wands here, these are both cards of wanting a strong foundation. Right? That's what you're looking for, a strong foundation in all of this. Okay? If you don't feel that you have it, again, what I just said still stands strong, because these 2 9s in here, in the cluster of this 3 of Swords here, that's a lot to try to get out from underneath. So if you need help, reach out to someone. Okay? These energies affect people in different ways. I'm only putting it out there because I just feel the need to. So there you have it. Okay? This can too, and this is coming in as your focal. Okay? This is a lot of energy. This is a lot of angst, anxiety. Sometimes when we don't know where to put that, we need to harness it in a healthy way. So I'm just saying, this is a lot of energy through here. So there you have it. Okay. I hope that I helped you in some way. Again, just if it makes you feel any better, a lot of March readings, I'm sure other readers too, they're packed with some loveliness in here. So just use the energy to work on yourself. Okay. And again, if this is something to the extreme, let someone help you. Okay. Thank you so much.